I'm JoelClapp with Documenting Myst, and this is the Selenitic Age. The final puzzle is the Underground Labyrinth. Now, this puzzle can take a while, especially if you're doing some trial and error. However, we don't have a whole lot of time, so I'm going to get right into it and use some notes that I wrote down from before to get us through this. Now, this is a sound-based puzzle, like a lot of the other puzzles on, well, all the other puzzles on the Selenitic Age. And it's a maze where you navigate through it on different tracks using this vehicle, kind of like a monorail, and you're giving these clues by sound effects that prompt you. As you heard just there, that little plink means north, so we go forward. The first few intersections, the first few junctions, act as kind of a training tool where you only have available to you a single track, so that'll teach you how the sounds match up. As you see, there's these red lit blockades that prevent you from moving forward, and if you try, you just kind of get a little honk noise. So south is the direction we came from, so obviously we don't want to go that way. Accidentally hit the forward button. Got sausage fingers even in the game. And we find out that little trilling sound is for west. These animations can really take a while. That's another, that forward button. That plink sound, once again, is north. So, orient ourselves towards north, and here we go. As a nice touch, some of these animations are a little different, where you can see other tracks and it kind of curves and twists. There's a little bit of a hissing noise, which, if I recall, means east. And sure enough, east is open. This puzzle is a little notorious because a lot of people don't pick up on the sound clues, at least based on my forays into different forums and online chat rooms. So a lot of people have to resort with trial and error or writing down physical maps. East again. So it can be quite the frustration. I remember trying to get through the Selenitic Age as a kid. I had no concept of like sound or tune, so it was hard even getting here. That is not east. It's the plunk sound is south, plink is north, plunk is south. If you will bear through my bad onomatopoeias. You got kind of a trill for west, and then kind of a shush noise, a hiss for east. It's going to be south again. I find the plink and the plunk, the north and south, to be particularly hard to differentiate. But I do have some notes I'm relying on, since we are limited on time. Alright, and that's that trill sound again, so that's going to be W. West. And something I totally forgot about until just now when I tried it, the red button here on the speaker does replay the sound cue, so that is quite helpful. This can be especially infuriating, once again, because of the long animations in between the junctions. So if you heard that, that was a combination between a plunk and the trill. So what that indicates is that we're not going for a cardinal direction, but we're going through I'm not sure what it's called, a secondary direction. So we're going southwest because the plunk and the trill. Alright, and that would be just the trill, so that's west. It's not very often that you find games with these kind of sound-based puzzles. It's very unique. I found the whole Selenitic Age to be pretty interesting. So that was definitely that's a plink and a trill, so I'm saying northwest, and double checking with my notes here because I don't want to get lost. It is indeed northwest. So here we go. Alright, so that's a hiss for east. And I want to say that's a plunk. So that's southeast. Looking at my notes, it says northeast. So I'm going to go with my notes on this because I know that I can have a bit of a problem telling the north and south sound effects apart. Even though both of them are open. Yeah, now that I'm hearing it again, I think it is definitely northeast. It's a plink, not a plunk, if you will. Alright, now, to my experience, if you get a sound cue, when you arrive at a junction, that means that you are, that you are on the right path, and that if you get off the right path, you end up at a dead-end junction. So, by hearing that sound effect, that does let you know that you did in fact go in the right direction, or you've backtracked. So as long as you're hearing those sound cues, the worst that's going to happen is you will wind up back at the start. That was definitely a plunk and a hiss. So, southeast, and unless I've lost my place in my notes, I believe that's correct. And that might actually be, yes it is, it's the end of the maze. It goes by a lot faster when you have some notes with you, but a little bit of trial and error, you can get it. Under 20 minutes. I think it took me 16 minutes last time. A little bit too long for our playthrough, but not too bad. Most of it's going through the animations. As you can see, find ourselves in a similar room to where we found the ship before, and we have the linking book leading us back to Myst Island. Go ahead and click on that, and that's the Selenitic Age. Hopefully you found the pages in the earlier puzzles, and there you are.